and she comes from the Meadville FFA chapter. She will be attending Mizzou this fall, majoring in animal science. Please help me in welcoming our state vice president from Area 3, Miriam Martin.
I'm gonna need a second. No, actually, I don't have a second. This was not a good idea, guys. This was not a good idea. But no, this was a goal I set. I want to run 2 miles every other day that I'm at home this summer. Now, take a look at me, folks. I was not built to be a runner. But hey, people run marathons all the time, and all I need to run is 2 miles. Surely I can handle this. I mean, yeah, I'm not really cut out for this sort of thing, but hey, I've been playing basketball, but that's over now, and I need to stay in shape. So I've set the goal that I need to run some. All right. Now, how many of you all ever set goals? Yeah, that's something that our ag teachers tell us we need to do, or maybe our parents. How many of you all have ever given reasons? Reasons are kind of hard the first time you give them. I mean, you have to stand up in front of someone that you usually don't know and tell them about how you placed the class when, for all you know, you could be completely wrong. My dad made me start giving reasons when I was 6 years old. Now, needless to say, my first set of reasons was horrible. I mean, I was scared to death when I walked up there. I didn't know the man I was giving them to, and I really had no idea what I was talking about. But Dad said I needed to start early, and practice does make perfect. After that first set, I wanted to quit. This obviously was not for me, Dad. But he said, you know, it's one of those things. It's hard the first time you do it. It's hard the second time you do it. But you have to keep practicing, and eventually you're going to get better at it. And today I can tell you that I'm on a livestock judging team that's training for nationals. Practice does pay off. One day, I found myself standing on a big stage, knees shaking, my hands were starting to sweat, my voice was starting to tremble. This was not a good idea. Why was I standing here? I don't even know why I did this. I mean, all these important people were out there ready to listen to me. And why did they care about what I had to say? I was standing in Washington, D.C. at the National Ag Day banquet, about to give a speech. Well, I took a deep breath, closed my eyes, here goes. Destiny is not a matter of chance. It's a matter of choice. It's not a thing to be waited for. It's a thing to be achieved. Those were the beginning words of my essay that day. And as I said those words, it hit me. The reason that they cared about what I had to say, despite the fact that every single one of them was way more important than I was because I was passionate about what I was doing. I had a passion for agriculture. I cared about what I was doing, and they realized that. Later that night, Orion Samuelson, a farm broadcaster, came up and put his arm around me and said, "Young lady, you put words together quite nicely." What a compliment. I was so excited. But I didn't just stop there. Sure, I'd achieved something that I thought was kind of cool, but we can't let ourselves plateau after we reach a goal. Now, we're all sitting here at FFA camp. We've all been given an opportunity. Now, I don't know why you're here. Maybe your ag teacher drugged you here because it's good for you, or you needed state degree points. Maybe your mom just wanted you out of the house for a week, or maybe you threw your hand up in the air and said, "Hey, I'll go." Whatever the reason is, you've been given an opportunity. I was blessed to get to have that opportunity for 3 years as a camper. Now, the first year, I was clueless, like a lot of you first-year campers, the first day I walked in. The second year, I knew what was up. And by the third year, I was convinced that I was a pro. Now, on my way down to FFA camp, I set some goals. I mean, I knew what was coming. I had this figured out. Goal number 1, I wanted to be camp president. I mean, really, the cool kid on campus, that was going to be me. Goal number 2, well, you see, my dad's an ag teacher, so I kind of am supposed to know, like, the FFA manual front to back, so I should probably win the knowledge contest for his sake. Now, aside from that, extemp and see how that went. So I went into FFA camp with 4 goals. Now, camp officer interviews rolled around. I did my best. I told them everything I knew, and I didn't tell them what I didn't know. I thought it went really, really good. The time came to announce who the camp president was, and it wasn't me. I had failed. Now, I was vice president, but close only counts in horseshoes, hand grenades, and slow dancing, not at FFA camp. Well, I failed. I felt pretty sorry for myself that night. I mean, yeah, I'd set all these goals, but who cares? Well, the next morning I woke up and thought, well, I guess I do have 3 more. I guess I could give those a try. So I studied the FFA manual at night, and I tried hard on the knowledge contest. I went into the impromptu contest with a good attitude and a smile on my face. In extemp, I gave it all I had. And as Friday rolled around and the awards ceremony came, I wound out on top. In knowledge, in impromptu, and extemp. I met my other 3 goals. Now, here's the point in which I had a decision. After my first failure, I could have thrown up my hands and said, you know what, guys? I'm done. I'm just going to go chill the rest of the week, hang with my friends. I really don't need to meet any new ones. I mean, seriously, I have plenty as it is. And, well, I just don't need to try in those other contests. Or I could let that failure fuel me to do even harder things. I was going to try my best at my other 3 goals. Yes, we all fail. We're not all going to be great at everything that we do. That's a given. But what matters is what happens after we fail. Are we going to rebound? Are we going to pick ourselves up and realize that we need to try harder next time? Or are we going to say, well, I tried. For me that week, I made sure that I didn't let that first failure stop me, and I pushed through. Now, some of you will be wearing your FFA jackets tonight at Vespers, and all of us will tomorrow with the Opry. Do you have anything in the pockets of your FFA jacket? I have a lot of things in my pockets, like 10 pounds worth right here, guys. I got a lot of papers. Now, some of them are things I've gotten at FFA camp, like when you put the paper on the back of your friend and write down nice things about them. I got a couple of those. And I have some letters from some state FFA officers as I've gone to FFA camp through the years, encouraging letters. Letters where they said that they believed in me. And I pull those letters and papers out when I'm getting ready to give a speech, when I'm nervous about having to do something new that I don't really think I'm going to be good at, because I know that I have a support group of people that believe in me, of people who have been in my shoes, who've done the same hard things that I've done, and they've succeeded. And if they didn't succeed and they failed, they realized that they were going to try again tomorrow. You see, once we reach our goals that we set for ourselves, we can't just plateau and be happy. We have to then support others who are going through the same journey. When I'm running, I could just say, I made a mile. I'll run a mile again tomorrow, and it'll be a little easier. Or I could aim for the next hilltop. FFA members, this week I encourage you to aim for the next hilltop. Maybe you tried a new contest. Maybe you decided to get out on the disc. Maybe you're going to give a Vesper speech. That is awesome. But after you do that, I would encourage you to go home to your chapters and take the next step. Make a difference, because you've been given a wonderful opportunity this week at FFA camp. So remember, first of all, you're going to have to set some goals for yourself. Aim high. Then you're going to have to persevere, because you're not always going to succeed at everything. And when you do succeed, make sure that you remember all of those people around you that supported you, and make sure that you support them as well. Thank you.